Aphorism 248. For this purpose, we potentize anew the medicinal solution with perhaps 8, 10, 12 succussions, from which we give the patient one or increasingly several teaspoonful doses in long lasting diseases daily or every second day, in acute diseases every 2 to 6 hours, and in very urgent cases every hour or oftener. Thus, in chronic diseases, every correctly chosen homeopathic medicine even those whose action is of long duration may be repeated daily for months with ever increasing success. If the solution is used up in 7 to 15 days, it is necessary to add to the next solution of the same medicine if still indicated one or through rarely several pellets of a higher potency with which we continue so so long as the patient experiences continued improvement without encountering one or another complaint that he never had before in his life. For if this happens, if the balance of the disease appears in a group of altered symptoms, then another, one more homeopathically related medicine must be chosen in place of the last and administered in the same repeated doses, mindful, however, of modifying the solution of every dose with thorough vigorous succussion, thus changing its degree of potency and increasing it somewhat. On the other hand, should there appear during almost daily repetition of the well indicated homeopathic remedy towards the end of treatment of a chronic disease, so called in Aphorism 161, homeopathic aggravations by which the balance of the morbid symptom seem to again increase somewhat, the medicinal disease, similar to the original, now alone persistently manifests itself. The doses in that case must then be reduced still further and repeated in longer intervals and possibly stopped several days in order to see if the convalescents need no further medical aid. The apparent symptoms Sheen symptom caused by the excess of the homeopathic medicine will soon disappear and leave undisturbed health in its wake. If only a small vial, say a dram of dilute alcohol, absolute medicinal alcohol, is used in the treatment, in which is contained and dissolved through succussion one globule of the medicine, which is to be used by olfaction every 2, 3, or 4 days. This also must be thoroughly succeed 8 to 10 times before each olfaction. Explanation. In this aphorism, Dr. Henneman has given idea about higher potencies continue. For this purpose, stated in Aphorism 247 that if remedy repeated in similar potency would not be effective in longer period, we potentize the medicinal solution with 8, 10, 12 succussions, from which we give one dose and if required increasing potency in several teaspoonful doses daily or every second day in chronic diseases. In acute, we repeat every 2 or 6 hourly, and in urgent or serious cases, we can repeat hourly or even more often. Thus, in chronic diseases, every correctly chosen homeopathic medicine, even those whose action is of longer duration, may be repeated daily for months with every increasing success. If the solution is used up in 7 to 15 days, it is necessary to add the pellets of the same medicine if it is still indicated in higher potency to the next solution with which we can continue as long as the patient expresses the continued improvement without development of any complaint which he never had before in his life. If the remaining disease appears in group of altered symptoms, then on that totality, another homeopathic medicine should be selected and should be given repeated doses, keeping in mind that each dose should be modified with thorough vigorous succussions, thus changing its degree of potency and increasing it somewhat. On the other hand, by repeating the medicine daily, patient may develop aggravation of symptom, that is called medicinal aggravation or homeopathic aggravation, towards the end of the treatment. In this aggravation, morbid symptoms which are similar to the original disease seems to again increase. In such a homeopathic aggravation, doses of medicine should be reduced still further and repeated in longer intervals and possibly stop several days in order to see if the convalescents need no further medical aid. The symptoms which appear due to excess of homeopathic medicine are called Sheen symptoms. These Sheen symptoms will disappear as soon as we stop to repeat the medicine and leave healthy state behind. If only a small vial, 1 gram of dilute alcohol is used in the treatment, in which is contained and dissolved through succussion, 1 globule of the medicine which is to be used by olfaction every 2, 3 or 4 days. This also must be thoroughly succeed 8 to 10 times before each olfaction. It means in olfaction mode of application of remedy, the same rule is applied. Each olfaction dose should be modified and should be given in somewhat higher potency.